Ananta Samsara Samudra, the seemingly endless ocean of samsara or suffering. And the verse translates, salutations to the sandals of my Guru, which is the endless ocean of life, which endows me with the sense of us have been feeling stuck in the same storming and raging ocean, being unable to navigate ourselves of suffering that surrounds us during this pralaya, the great deluge. Our loved ones are dying due to the pandemic. Our homes are being destroyed due to natural disasters. Social institutions are crumbling, and the whole of humanity is in dire need of hope. At this time, the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, the incarnation of the cosmic superconsciousness, out of his love and compassion, having taken the spiritual superconscious breakthrough of the whole of humanity, is manifesting Devi Parashakti, the cosmic mother, and guiding and healing the whole world, as literally the boast that Devi Parashakti is herself manifesting through the Nijavadara and answering each and every one of our prayers, granting boons, healing us, manifesting miracles, removing all of our pain and suffering. And Devi has not just attended to us individually, but also as a humanity, as of humanity, form of found sacred secrets of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and by showing us the future regarding global issues which have not yet surfaced to common knowledge. In this segment, we will be elaborating on the statistical, scientific, and scriptural references of each sacred revelation, which has manifested precisely as the same guidance emerged from Devi Parashakti, for us to imbibe deeply and to start following as Devi Parashakti continues to protect us until this storm ends and we are safely harbored at the shores of our consciousness. So now let us enter into the segment and understand what Devi Parashakti has revealed. Let us look at what Devi has revealed as the 8 methods to protect yourself from COVID-19.
Parameshwari Meenakshi, Parashakti Meenakshi, Ingu எழுந்து அருளினோம் எல்லோர்க்கும் ஞானமும் தன்மையும் தன் நைலா சுவாமினியாய் பரமசிவன் கிரகத்திருந்து நம் அனுக்கிரகத்தினால் நித்யானந்தன் விக்கிரகமாய் மலர்ந்தோம். தர்மார்த்த காம மோக்ஷம் புருஷார்த்தங்கள் நாளும் பொங்கி மலர்ந்திட வந்தேன் இங்கு. தியானித்து என்னை பிரார்த்தித்தல் ஒன்று. சமூக வலைதளங்கள் மூலமாய் என்னை எங்கெல்லாம் என் மகமாய் வடிவத்தில் நான் குடிகொண்டிருக்கின்றேனோ அங்கெல்லாம் பூமிதித்து என்னை வழிபடுவது நெஞ்சில் மஞ்சள் தடவி சாரருந்தி தினந்தோறும் என்னை தியானிப்பது 4 நிறைத்து உயிர்வது 5 சிவ எனும் பிரபஞ்ச பெரும் நிறைவான பூரண மனத்தோடு வாழைப்பழத்தும் வெங்காயமும் குதிகாலில் வைத்து 10 திரையில் அடங்குவது 7 ஸ்மரணையில் நினைப்பும் மறப்பும் அருந்த உணர்வு ஸ்மரணையில் அகம் அகம் என ஸ்புரிக்கும் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் ஆனந்த 8 கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் பயமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் மயக்கமும் வாழ்வீர்கள் வளத்தொடு நல் ஞானம் யோகத்தொடு நாமே நிம்மோடு நானே நீயாய் நீயே நானாய் நல்வாழ்வு வாழ்வீரும் கொரோனா உங்களை எட்டவிடாது காப்
Let us look at the translation of Devi Parashakti's revelation. Oh humans, don't be scared of the deadly infection of corona, meditating on me. Surrendering to me through social chest, drinking beet juice, and meditating on me every day. Doing the Ajaba Ajaba of the cosmic sound, Shiva, 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 with complete mind, applying banana peel and onion in the heels and going to sleep. Being in the state beyond any remembrance or forgetting, in the Arunachala Spurana that blossoms as aham aham, in the state of Ananda Spurana. Everyone who thinks on me through these 8 ways, they will not have the effects of corona. You will live with prosperity, with wisdom and fortune. Me with you, you as me as you. You will live good life. I will protect you. Corona will not reach you. So now let us look at each of these methods, this revelation, made to protect humanity. The first method that Devi revealed is praying and meditating on Devi Parashakti. And science has controlling anxiety, promoting emotional health, enhancing self-awareness, lengthening the attention span, and it may also reduce age-related memory loss easily. And a study published by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services found that meditation has a direct impact on our physical as well as our mental health. And another study by Cambridge University of meditation during times of crisis such as COVID-19. By providing social support, by lifting the spirits, by helping you cope with difficulties, and a September 2015 report published in Health Psychology found that when researchers followed 191 people with congestive 5 years, they found that those who reported, and people with major depressive disorder or chronic medical illness who report high levels of religiosity, which includes daily religious experiences, generally become more optimistic than their peers. This was found in a study published in July 2015, Depression and Anxiety. So now let us listen to what this is, a video explaining how the avatar has himself demonstrated the power of meditation on our brain.
Scientific researches to derive evidences for meditation and healing through meditation. Dr. R. Murali Krishna, President, COO, Integris Mental Health and James L. Hall Jr., Center for Mind, Body and Spirit, Oklahoma in US, invited Nithyananda to derive scientific evidences for meditation and the state
willing to undergo some scientific investigation of the meditation process. He very cheerfully agreed without one complaint. He went for 3 repeat sessions for PET scanning and 3 repeat sessions for quantitative EEG sessions. And these are really not very easy tests to go through. It requires a lot of patience and a lot of willingness to do that. So we did that. Because if a meditation process is doing something to your brain, we should be able to detect that. And we found some.
In PET scan, dye which goes and sits in parts of the brain that are active. In the normal, non-meditative state, the brain is very active. And when we are seeing someone, the rear end of the brain, the visual cortex, is very active, as shown in the diagram.
Usually the brain is so active, there are 100 billion brains there. But what meditation does is where you have judgment, wisdom, reasoning. Here are some of the brain scans I share with you. This is alert, non-meditative state. The second one is 30 minutes into 30 minutes meditation. Look at the frontal lobes, how they light it up. They light it up big time. 60 minutes of deep meditation, and here is a deep, deep level of meditation where it lights up right in the middle, probably 1.5 to 2 inches deeper. What Swami Swami was inside, and that's last part of that Swami showed. But this is something interesting. There is something called dopamine, which is a chemical our brain is involved in. Dopamine is produced mostly in this area. And when you have any pleasurable feeling in your body, it is mediated through dopamine. It's a neuroreceptor. It's a chemical that transmits messages of pleasure. It basically evokes pleasure chemical. If you eat, the same thing is with visual pleasures you have. People, beautiful sceneries, nature, whatever gives you pleasure. It's that you and I have the potential to create our own dopamine in a big way. So I named it, for lack of a word in the past, the D spot, which is the dopamine spot. If you can discover your D spot, you got it made in life. The D really stands for divine spot. The D also stands for delight, and the dopamine spot. What's also interesting is that he could, at will, go in and out of those states. I want to share with you, there's so much more talk about physiology of mind in our own lives. Not only, but these things have application in daily life for all of us.
Nithyananda's system of free healing, known as Nithya Spiritual Healing, the medical world, curing diseases from migraine, conducted on Nithyananda's neurological system, can be found in the book Mystic Phenomena, Scientific Data.
And now let us understand what the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has revealed as the power of puja. How puja is the what that is.
Is the best thing in your life. You are tortured, you are abused, your divine rights are violated. If you are constantly inspired to do yoga early morning, Brahma Muhurta time, and everyday puja, sit that 30 minutes and melt down to bust your stress. Tell you, prayer is the best thing down. Prayer to Paramashiva. Intense yearn Paramashiva. Nothing can be compared to that to bust your stress. I tell you, everyday puja is everyday puja. The kind of the stress-free life you will live. I have seen the people who have the habit of Nitya Puja live long, not just long, happy. Puja, that gave me all the best things of life. Everyday puja, relating with the deities, is the best stress buster. Touch the deities, do decoration, dress up. Even now, my best time of the day is when I sit with my deities. When I sit with my deities, talk to them, intensely pray, deeply connect, and you do not God landing in physical deity form. Never underestimate the power of Archavatara. The Archavatara is equivalent to living avatara. Living avatar is literally living Archavatara. Is a piece of God. Literally.
The next method, surrendering to Devi Parashakti through social media. And during the Akashic readings, Devi Parashakti gives us the opportunity to connect with her through various social media platforms and attends to us individually to our prayers and showers us with blessings and boosts. Let us now see how we can connect to Devi Parashakti through social media. Kailasa's SH YouTube channel. You just click the join button next to the name. And then once you've done that, you can go ahead and ask your questions during the live Parashakti Akashic link in the comment section of the live video. You can follow that. Once you ask your questions during the live Parashakti Akashic reading, and again, the comment section of the video. HDH Nithyananda on Twitter. And once you've done that, you can ask your questions in the reply section of the tweet with the hashtag #AskTheAvatar. So you can connect with Devi on Instagram. So you can follow Nithyananda. And you can also lastly connect with Devi Parashakti through WhatsApp. You can visit kailasa.org and you will see a WhatsApp chat box that pops up. And you can ask your questions here in the chat. And all of these methods are a simple way for you to connect with Devi Parashakti. All you need to connect with Devi is just your sincere devotion to connect with her. Now let's watch a short clip of Devi Parashakti blessing people.
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்கள பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து ஒரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என் பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள்.
When you connect with her as a method to protect yourself from COVID-19. Devi reveals that wherever I am residing, worship me by doing the fire walking. Fire walking is an alchemy that has revealed. Our rishis and munis have been adept and mastered in every field, whether health or keeping the society safe. It's highly scientific, useful to the life. Coronavirus will not affect you at all because of that fire walking time. The small blisters you get just shoots up your whole immunity. That power, the power to protect yourself from any virus or anything. And especially it is done very traditionally. It will not work on you. It will not affect you. And don't worry, it is a traditional way of making you immune. Actually, it's a traditional vaccination process. It's a fire with the will be awakened. In that peak altered state of consciousness, will first awaken, trigger the detox system, and then walk on fire, the 11 feet fire pit. And if you do for one fire walk and do this traditional fire walk, you are absolutely protected from coronavirus. No need to panic. Traditional, natural, organic, no bad side effects vaccination is the Hindu fire walking. So now let us watch a short video on the science fire walking as revealed by the Supreme.
All these transmutation processes and awakening the whole consciousness to your whole body is what I call transmutation processes. Some parts of your body becomes insensitive to the existence because of the job it is doing, like a feet. Because of the continuous walking, it becomes insensitive. Your cheeks sensitive. They don't become they lose sensitivity to the reality. But for the complete Kundalini experiencing the reality and ability to experience the higher consciousness, that is the reason we have the process of
short video of the Supreme Concept of Buddhism himself doing the fire walking in Tiruvannamalai. We can move to the next video. We can move to the next video. Yes, we can move to the next video. Let us now watch the Supreme Concept of Buddhism himself doing the fire walking in Tiruvannamalai.
காத்திடும் உத்தமத்தியே சத்குருவாய் வந்த நித்திய தாயே வேதங்கள் வணங்கிடும் ஆதியும் நீயே ஜோதிமலையிலே அவனியை பேணும் ஞானமும் நீயே அக்னி வடிவிலே அருள் புரிந்தாயே தீனிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆதியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி தீனிலே வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய் கர்மங்களை கொன்றிட வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய் பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி
Let us now look at some of the science behind the fire walking as according to modern science. In this study that was conducted by the U.S. National Study of Medicine, National Institute of Health, it was found that those who participated in fire walking had increased levels of happiness and lower levels of fatigue compared to those who did not participate in fire walking. The next method revealed by Devi Parashakti is to apply turmeric on drink neem juice and meditate on Devi Parashakti every
Bididi. It is not, I'm not talking from air, I'm talking from ground. In Bididi, before we came to that land, 30 borewells were dug, no water. Now, from the day we came till now, we have water for 10,000 people to pouring. Pouring. Karumari's grace. Us, we know biology, whole biology things. If you are having bitter relationships in your life, just start drinking bitter neem juice every morning. The problem will be solved. Understand, if you are irritated, even if you don't react, even if you don't talk to people, you release that kind of vibes. Take Haritaki. You will see you release sweet kind of vibes. Take neem juice. You release healing, compassionate vibes. A woman who applies neem powder and takes bath, who applies turmeric powder and takes bath, is equivalent to Karumari Mahamayi. That neem paste and turmeric powder, just same vibes of Karumari. Sincerely recommend neem paste and taking bath, applying haritaki powder and taking bath, applying for women neem paste and turmeric paste. All four can be used by both all genders. That is different. If you want specific, haritaki and male body, understand your whole biology things. Working on whole biology chief. So, now this is ajapa ajapa. Think Mahavagya with the biology things. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Blessings.
now that we've understood the benefits of being juice as revealed by Buddhism, let us look at what modern science has found in the last few decades. It has been shown to be a potent immunomodulator. It modulates the activation of T cells, B cells, macrophages, neutrophils, natural killer cells, and dendritic cells, which are various immune cells. And it can also downregulate the expression of various pro-inflammatory cytokines and chemokines. And this was found in this was published in the National Center for Biotechnology Information US on the health. We can move to the next slide, please. article published for this purpose. And it was also reported that turmeric and neem are effective against coronavirus, according to a KGM study. And the next method to protect yourself from COVID-19 is with complete mind, applying banana peel and onion to the heels and going to sleep. And this is how you can do it. You can just put the banana peel or onion on the peel, put a sock over it, and you can sleep like that. And this will detox your entire body and, of course, protect you from COVID-19. Medical Daily has published the benefits of onion, which it states that onions contain a high amount of sulfur compounds, which not only give onion the recognizable smell, but also they are powerful detoxifying agents. And with more than 100 sulfur-containing compounds, which are what cause the eyes to tear, onions can help prevent and treat ailments from diabetes to heart disease with daily consumption. And it's very well known in Ayurveda for its medicinal uses, the primary purpose of onion. It's stated that compounds from onion have been reported to have a range of health benefits, which include anti-carcinogenic properties, antiplatelet activity, antithrombotic activity, anti-asthmatic, and antibiotic effects. And the next method to protect yourself from COVID-19 is being in the unclutched state, filling with eternal bliss by the Supreme Consciousness of Wisdom. We can watch this video now on the science of unclutching as revealed by the Supreme Concept of Wisdom.
like Dakshina Murti. In the lower level brand, the brain is the organ which controls our whole physical being. Once our brain has been imbalanced, it will then transmit that imbalance throughout the whole body. Thought forms are pure energy that have the ability to influence people and everyday events in life. May be measured by such instruments as we think, and as our mind is never still, we may be compared to perpetual power generators. Fear produces nervous disorders. Anger produces headaches and violence. Confused thoughts produce congestion and ill health. Depression causes cancer through own. Our thoughts generate intricate energy patterns which can be detected by sensitive equipment. Surprisingly, thought forms are shaped by the thoughts themselves. Each of us creates hundreds of thought forms every hour and release them into the environment. Although we cannot see them, the thought forms have as real an existence as any other form of energy. Most people can sense others' thought forms, and a continuous energetic exchange happens between people, about which we are usually unaware. This also explains why we sometimes take a sudden liking, dislike to a certain person. Thoughts are like bubbles in a fish tank. Just as bubbles in a fish tank rise from the bottom, our thoughts also rise in the. When one bubble comes and reaches the surface of the water, continuous stream. But our mind is not a continuous stream. There is always a gap between two thoughts. Like the bubbles, we also experience a neutral space between two thoughts, between two God. Since the gap or the neutral can form a shaft, but there is always a gap between two thoughts. In the forest of northern India, the hunters trap the birds using a trap. They tie a rope between two trees. The rope is the shaft that we create by connecting two thoughts. In the middle of the rope, they secure a wooden stick. The stick, mind. The rope is tied at the midpoint of the stick. When a bird comes and sits on the stick, the bird's own weight turns the whole stick upside down. It turns topsy-turvy. The moment it turns upside down and loses its sense of balance, it feels totally shaken and tightens its grip on the stick. It simply holds onto the stick as if we drop our mind, we might be lost. We might lose our identity. Because it is hanging upside down, it thinks, if I am the clutched, independent and illogical thoughts, we might be lost. If the bird lets go and relaxes, in the forest of northern India, the hump is a shaft that we create by connecting two thoughts. In the middle of the rope, they secure a stick. The stick is our mind. The rope is tied at the midpoint, turns the whole stick upside down. It turns topsy-turvy. The moment it turns upside down and loses its sense of balance on it. Similarly, we connect thoughts and form a shaft out of it and live in the fear that if we drop our mind, we might be lost. We might lose our identity. Because it is hanging upside down, it thinks, I will fall and die. If we start trusting that we are unconnected, unclutched, we flutter to balance for a moment or two. When it leaves the stick, maybe for a few seconds, it will fall, but then it will adjust itself and start flying. In the same way, We hold on to whatever we think is our identity and security, our education, our mind, our life, our relation, bank balance. Ultimately can become a Paramahamsa. That very moment we can be liberated. And in the tallest branch of the tree, there is a golden bird sitting unclutched from everything in bliss, like Dakshinamurti. In the lower level branch, there is a small bird which jumps from here and there to various branches eating fruits. When it eats a bitter fruit, it feels bad. Whenever she eats the bitter fruit, she sees the bird which is looking above silently like Dakshinamurti and feels like that bird. But unfortunately, when the same bird, when it eats tickling between branches, eating bitter and tasty fruits again and again, one day as a small bird flies up higher, and as it reaches near the golden bird, it realized that he and she are the same. There is no difference between them both and realizes her own Paramahamsa. This moment, trust yourself. Don't bother about losing your identity. Just trust yourself and let go of your identity. You will immediately become a Paramahamsa and be liberated. All you need to do is to trust that you're unclutched. Dropping the conclusions you can't be transformed is unclutching.
Now that you've understood the science of unclutching, you can also spend a few moments in your day experiencing this science. Sit with your head, neck, and spine, and the spirit of unclutching manifests in you, and chant the Mahavakya Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. The next method revealed by Devi Parashakti is to do Ajaba Ajaba. And a study conducted by the U.S. National Library of Medicine has shown of chanting it of the Ajaba Ajaba to the vagus nerve stimulation, which is used as a treatment for depression and epilepsy. And a study conducted by Dr. Masaru Emoto establishes that human intentions, words, or thoughts can actually change the very molecular structural formation. Interesting research clearly depicts how when the water is being exposed to positive sound vibrations, the molecular formation in the water changes to a very pleasant formation, whereas any negative sound or vibration can disfigure, distort, or disintegrate the water. Structural formation of water when exposed to positive sound vibrations versus negative sound vibrations. We can see that in the next slide. We can go back to the previous slide. Yes, so you can see when it is exposed to positive sound vibrations like passion, words like thank you, wisdom, vibrations like heavy metal music, or words like I will kill you and you fool, you snowflake like when negative sound vibrations are used, it becomes disintegrated. So you can imagine what happens inside of your body, which is composed of up. So as you partake in these last two methods, the untitled.tv/minutes for peace and be a part of this initiative. And Supreme Concept of Buddhism has revealed that if 10,000 people can do this for just 3 months, we can give such a powerful superconscious breakthrough to the whole of humanity. Because all of us are interconnected, we are not all one. The bliss of you untouched cosmos. This is what the Supreme Concept of Buddhism has revealed about this initiative. So you can sign up your minutes for peace at kailasa.com. Let us look at the last method Devi Parashakti revealed. Being in these states beyond any remembrance or forgetting, the autonomous but losses as aham in the anonymous. So constantly being you for COVID. Each of these methods are individually powerful enough to protect you from COVID and ensure that you are staying safe and meditate upon Devi Parashakti. In this next segment, we will be understanding some of the ways and methods that we can pray to Devi Parashakti, worship her divine majesty. We'll be entering into the offering segment now, where we will understand some of the various offerings that we can make today.
Nithyananda, and now see the various traditional offerings. In the Hindu tradition, the offerings to the divine are made as a pure gift of love, devotion, and oneness, and the offerings are a pure expression of the sacred sentiments of love, devotion, and oneness. And when an avatar lands, the offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela played out only for the purpose of enlightenment. And now let us look at a Dhyana Shloka on Devi Parashakti as we remember her beauty and splendor and sacred offerings. So let's Mula Agama Manonmani Dhyana Angahimabhushana Vichitravasanam Syat Tungama Kutojvala Manonmani Swarupam. The translation for this verse, it says, moon-like face holding the Veda books on hand, fire in eyes with lotus flower, gracing and blessing hands, and one hand with japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments and wonderful clothes and shining crown. Her name is Manonmani. And another verse from the Mulagama, Manonmani Dhyana, describes ध्यायेत् देवीं त्रिनेत्रां शशिनिभवदनां वेदहस्तां ददानां सव्ये पद्मां वरदमपरे चाभयां चाक्षमालां दिव्यैराभरणैर्विभूषिततनुं ब्रह्मादिभिः पूजितां देवीमेव मनोन्मणिं प्रतिदिनं कामार्थदात्रीं शुभाम्. The translation for this verse, I meditate on Devi with 3 eyes, glowing like a moon and holding the Veda, lotus, and gracing with blessing and gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments. She is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods. Auspicious boons for all actions every day. Divine element of gold is in the worship of scriptures. So let us look at this scriptural reference from the Atharva Veda which describes the significance of this divine element of gold. This verse says, Tredajutam janmanedam hiranyam agnirekam priyatamam babhuva sitasya parapatata apamekam vedasam veda ahutat trividastvaivishe. The translation for this verse, triply born by birth is this gold. From the atoms of Agni is one. It becomes dearest to Agni. One fell away from the Soma when it was hurt. One they call the seed of earth, the watery molecules. Let that triple gold be for your long life. The gold is a divine and spiritual power of healing and enlightenment. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears it and in anyone who sees or operates in its vicinity. Agamas, Shrutis, Smritis, Itihas, gold is the most auspicious and purest metal which purifies our being. In the Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold, ritual feasts were offered in gold bricks. When one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. Kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold. The streets would have huge columns and huge archways made of gold. The horses and cows were dressed in gold. The civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. The Indus River was called Hiranmaya, the river of gold in Rig Veda. The river Saraswati was called Hiranyavartini in Atharva Veda. Gold is meant for offering gifts to the ones you love and revere. The temples are constructed and paved in gold, last forever. So offerings that you can offer to Devi Parashakti today on the website. Get ready to receive the darshan of Devi Parashakti. You can make any of these traditional offerings as your expression with sentiments while you prepare to receive the darshan of Devi Parashakti. So the e-hundi offerings are similar to the hundi offerings in any traditional Hindu temple, where you can offer any amount of your choice, and you can make the offerings in multiple currencies through the e-hundi offering. And Devi is described as the one who is fond of true devotion. So let us look at this verse which describes Devi's love for true devotion. Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Gamya, Bhakti Vashya, Bhayapaha, Shambhavi Sharadharadhya, Sharvani Sharmadaini. The translation for this verse, Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion and she removes all fear. If there's any fear in the minds of Devi is sure to remove the bottom of our lives when our thoughts turn more and more inwards. The role for the divine is known and understood here. Means the one who is worshipped by Devi Sharada herself, Devi Saraswati, the wife of Lord Shiva, being a Purana who bestows happiness on devotees. And you can offer your gratitude and devotion to Devi Parashakti by offering your kanika, your token of gratitude through the e-hundi offerings, and be blessed with all the auspiciousness and grace of Devi Parashakti. Offering of the conscious resolution. And this verse from the Devi Mahatmya, chapter 12, verse 34, describes Tayaitan mohyate vishvam shaiva vishvam prasuyate saya chitta cha vijanam tushtarudhim prayaschati. The translation for this verse, the goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. That goddess being prayed without interest in anything gives that knowledge, salvation, and gives wealth in the materialistic sense. Offering the sankalpa, the conscious resolution blesses the person offering with all the fruition of the desire and wishes that he is yearning for. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu. This is the offering of the pure gold coin inscribed with the sacred name of one of her friends. Can be made on the website also. And in the Lalita Sahasranama, Devi is described as Nama Parayana Prita, she who likes the various repetition of her names. Offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu, the gold coin, pure gold coin inscribed with names of Devi Parashakti. This is a very special and unique offering of the gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti, and receive the blessings of imbibing the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, the divine qualities of Devi Parashakti herself. And you can make this offering in any of 3 different denominations, and you can offer any number of coins as you would like to offer. This offering can be made on the website www.kailasamela.us. Ring embedded with pearl, and this verse describes the beauty of Devi Parashakti adorned with pearls. It says, Muktahara lasat kirita ruchiram purnendu vaktra prabham shinjannu purakinkini manidharam padma prabhabhasuram sarvabhita palapradam girisutam vani rama sevitam Meenakshim pranatosmi santatamaham karunyavaram nidhim. The translation of this verse: I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls, and a face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are small, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by goddesses Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. And you can make this offering of the angut, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl, to Devi Parashakti, as you be blessed and showered by her compassion and pure love in all your business endeavors. So you can make this offering of the Mukta Anguti in 3 different sizes, and we can also register for this on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. And describes the significance of the gold lotus. It says, Ashtavidyeshwaropeta kumbha varana samyutam sarve sasutra vastradhya hema pankajabhushitaah sapidhanas purachascha bhakva bilva palaprabha snapanadhyaya samsiddha pramanena samanvitaah. The translation of this verse: all the kalashas should be wound around with suitable thread and covered with a new cloth, a lotus flower made of gold. For using the lotus in the worship of Paramashiva, almost everything in the worship of the ultimate, involving the consecration of deities of worship or meditating on the mudras and asanas used during worship, involves the lotus flower, the lotus leaf, the lotus pericarp, the lotus petals. The lotus is a divine flower in the Vedic tradition. Shakti of Paramashiva is also called the lotus. Base of Paramashiva Linga is a lotus. The disciple of Paramashiva is also considered a lotus, one who is about to bloom. And you can offer the gold lotus in any of 3 cases as you wish, any and every adverse situations in life. So you can make the offering of the gold lotus, the Swarna Padma Pushpa, on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. The next of the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti is described in this verse. It says, Nakadhiti Sanchanna Namajjanatamo Guna Pala Para Kritasaroruha. The translation of this verse: You whose brightness from the toenails you whose brightness from your 2 feet overpowers that of the lotus flower too. And you can make offering of the gold touring the adorn the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti, and this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. To Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry. And Devi is described as Sudha Sharabhivarshini, she who makes nerves from the Sahasrara, she who gives the very pleasant Sahasrara, which is fully opened with the sacred sentiment of gratitude. And you can offer the Swarna Mangtika to Devi Parashakti and receive the blessings of achieving the blissful state of overflowing gratitude in the space of complete completion. And you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. The next traditional offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja. The Saundarya Lahari verse Shloka 83 states that the nails of Devi Parashakti have been sharpened by constantly being touched by the crowns of celestial beings who are Devi. Tamoguna in this verse is the darkness, and it is indicative of the ignorance in the minds of devotees. And by constantly prostrating before Devi, their ignorance is removed and they attain the ultimate knowledge. Offering the Pratyaksha Pada. This is the Yajaman with all the auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti and the Nijavatar of Devi Parashakti, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. From disciple to guru, and you can make this on the website. W of Sevas is the offering of the Vastra Seva, which is the offering of the sacred cloth. And the offering of the sacred cloth, the Vastra Seva, is a traditional offering which blesses the devotee with the offering. The Yajaman is blessed with all the auspiciousness of Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasani, Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. So you can make the offering of the Vastra Seva, the offering of the So here you can see the various offerings that can be made to Devi Parashakti on the website, the traditional offerings. The e-hundi can be offering can be made in any amount and in multiple currencies. The Sankalpa chanting is the offering of the conscious resolution, which can be made on the website. The Devi Sahasranama Kasu, the offering gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. The Mukta Anguti, the gold fingering embedded with pearl, which can be offered in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower, which can also be offered in 3 different sizes. The Swarna lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. The Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry representing gratitude to Guru in the Vastra Seva, which is the offering of the sacred cloth. And all of these offerings can be made on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And here you can see the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas and offerings for Devi Parashakti. You can click on this link step 2 as well for the traditional offerings of ornaments and sevas to Devi Parashakti. And if you'd like to make an intention to make an offering today and be blessed to receive the blessings and grace of Devi Parashakti to manifest your intention into reality, you can fill in the form on step 1. And once you've made your traditional offerings, if you would like to make the conscious resolution for yourself and your family members, you can fill out the sankalpa on the form on step 3. So the means dollars, Australian dollars, New Zealand dollars, Canadian dollars, euros, Indian rupees, Singaporean dollars, Malaysian ringgits, Great Britain pound, and Chinese yen. And you can make this offering in any of the any amount of your choice. And you can also make the offerings of the traditional ornaments and sevas to Devi Parashakti on the website. You can make the offering of the Devi Sahasranama Swarnakasi, the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring with the gold hairline, the Swarnameti, the gold toe ring for Devi Parashakti, the Swarnamangtika, the gold hairline jewelry, the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, and the Vastra Seva, and any of the traditional offerings you can offer to Devi Parashakti on the website by clicking on the links on step 2. And the website is www.kailasamela.com/seva. With this, let us get ready to find out more about the various facilities for the well-being of and the Kailasas all over the world for the well-being of humanity. And let us find out more about all of this from the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailas. So let us now get ready for the next segments and also get ready to prepare to receive the darshan of Devi Parashakti.
Nithyanandam. Welcome back to the segment of Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers, which are de facto spirit of Kailasa. His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam blessings. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasugadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Svandvatitam Gagana Sadusham Tattvamasya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Sadgurum Tam Namami. So what are the Supreme Pontiff of Missions for global peace? The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's spiritual solutions join Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers. The crisis that we are under. Today, people around the world are trying the aftermath of the worsening disastrous. Now, let us see some of the statistics and current news. Australia reported new record number of coronavirus cases recently when the country continues to battle the third wave of the coronavirus. the World Health Organization makes a big statement about Delta variant of COVID-19. That the World Health Organization said that the Delta variant of coronavirus has elbowed out all which are being sequenced. Less than 1% of alpha, beta, and gamma are currently circulating. It's really predominantly Delta around the world, said the World Health Organization technical lead on COVID-19, Maria Van Kerkhove. COVID-19 has now killed more Americans than the influenza pandemic did. The coronavirus pandemic has now killed more Americans than the 1918 Americans and killed an estimated 675,000 deaths. COVID-19 has infected more than 12% of Americans and 0.2% with 676. Now that the US pandemic has killed more Americans than the 1918 to 19 influenza pandemic did. Axios and other associates reported the grim milestone recently. Pandemic as death toll crosses that of 1918 to 19 influenza flu did. People infected with alpha variant exhales 100 times more virus into the air than the original COVID strain, says the University of Maryland. Researchers suggested vaccine spread of the virus. 6 feet distance may not be enough, about 6.5 feet may not be enough to sufficiently prevent transmission of virus carrying airborne aerosols indoors, according to a study. COVID-19 Delta variant still most concerning, says the World Health, even with the emergence of the new COVID-19 variant, the World Health Organization said recently. COVID-19 pandemic is nowhere under control in the United States, says the Chief Medical Advisor, Anthony Fauci. He said, right now we are still in pandemic mode because we have 160,000 new infections a day. That's not even modestly in good control. In an interview with Act of the Virus, with over 4 million infections adding up in the past few weeks. The increase in COVID cases comes as the US administration earlier this month announced that it is planning to provide booster shots of the vaccine as the Delta variant has become dominant in the nation and is wreaking havoc. This surge in Delta variant is driven by the low vaccination coverage in many communities across the United States, according to the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. In a country of our size, you can't be 1,000 before you start feeling comfortable. According to a report on COVID-19 made the World Economic Forum report, COVID-19 made the world less peaceful. You can see from this graph that COVID-19 violent incidences and fatalities in January 2020 to April 2021. You can see a sudden spike in the April. The violent incidents related to the pandemic peaks in April 2020. Younger adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorder during the COVID-19. Average share of adults reporting symptoms of anxiety disorder and or depressive disorder, what it was January to June 2019 was 11%, and now it rose up to 41.1% in just 1 month in January 2021. Nearly 8 in 10 stress in America, a national health crisis. 8 in 10, that's about 78% say the coronavirus pandemic is a big stress over the course of the pandemic. The COVID COVID-19 could exacerbate doctors' existing mental health burden. More than 60,000 contracted COVID-19 and 300 have died. Of the health workers who have treated patients during the China's COVID-19 outbreak, 50% showed signs of depression and 45% showed signs of anxiety. Self-reported mental health among pregnant women and new mothers. Before COVID-19 pandemic, depression was 1%. The anxiety was 29%, and now it rose up to 72% during with focus on school or work and avoiding distractions. And 55% of all students do not know where to go for help for their mental health. Nearly 82% of women surveyed said their lives have been negatively disrupted by the pandemic. Nearly 70% of women disruption are concerned their career growth may be as a result. The globe into recession, with per capita income contracting the largest fraction of the countries globally since 1870. International Labour Organization a threat to peace building in conflict affected nations. In Mumbai, coming back to India, the city mayor said that upon Mumbai, pointing to a sudden spike in regarding the matter had already been made in Nagpur. Speaking of the coming festive season in Maharashtra, the mayor urged people to remain in their homes. The mandals have been asked to allow only 10 people and have them work in shifts. Breakthrough infections found in 25% of health staff. A little over 25% of healthcare workers were infected with coronavirus despite getting fully vaccinated. A recent study has revealed, giving an insight on the breakthrough infections due to maximum hospitals in Delhi NCR found that the vaccination breakthroughs were far more common during the Delta outbreak in Delhi than previously reported. A new coronavirus strain known as Mu, which was first identified in Colombia in January, had been designated a variant of interest organization. Now that we have seen the statistics across the world, the grim reality of the pandemic, not only it is affecting the health. So how do we cope up with current COVID-19 pandemic? So it is important to address the COVID pandemic, which is seeing another wave, destroying many more lives. Quantity of Hinduism says, the pandemic fatigue setting in as a result of corona is resulting in putting this phase of delusional decisions like, so what, if I die, it's okay. I can't live forever in this lockdown. Going out and then exposing oneself and putting the risk on yourself and others with irresponsibility and inauthenticity is the delusional arrogance. The global COVID virus whole world desperately looking for answers. Life as it had been experienced even back in February 2020 is no longer recognizable. Drastic change is the order of the day, with people having to redefine their world with new paradigms of economy, society, faith, religion, and health. Shiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in their lives to carry them through this crisis. To join the Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers at the https://.org/Kailasa care. We start now. Making peace with the nature is possible. Even amid pandemic, 2021 can go down as the year environmental, societal, economic challenges are interlinked. They must be tackled together. To achieve the sustainable developmental goals, including ending poverty by 2030, if climate change and ecosystem collapse are undermining food and water supplies in the world's poorest countries. We have no choice but to transform our economic and societies by valuing nature and putting its health at the heart of all our decisions. Now let's watch a small clip make United States made COVID. We need enhanced international coordination to build peace. Tackling the pandemic and building resilience in fragile states requires concerted international action at local, national, and global levels. As the humanitarian and economic toll of the COVID-19 pandemic continues to grow, so does the risk that this crisis will fuel new conflict around the world while stemming prospects for resolving ongoing ones. Stronger health systems and universal health coverage must be a priority. Remarks to the General Assembly special session in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. For the first time since 1945, the entire world is confronted by a common threat, regardless of the nationality, ethnicity, and faith. A new social contract between people, governments, the private sector, civil society, and more can tackle the roots of inequality with fair taxation on income and wealth, universal benefits, and opportunities for all. To the global peace and the mental health and physical health, and many other issues that the world is facing today. International peace and security. Vedic tradition beautifully describes Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani ivanu pushyati sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tadona vigagupshate. Isha Upanishad verse 6. Global peace is the byproduct of individual bliss. Whenever an individual goes through a spiritual bliss, he manifests a beautiful, peaceful life for him and everyone around him. If he is powerful enough, he moves the whole enough like incarnation, he moves the whole world and manifests peace. This is the source for the global peace in the level of scopic level. Whatever level it may be, global peace is the byproduct of individual bliss. Self-transformation, secret to achieve global peace. Now let's listen from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
Social answer means global peace. You should all work. This is the social answer. Nonsense. If you want the honest answer, I tell you, simply do. You would have done it. You are raising this question because you are not able to do. Am I right? So let us be very clear. Let us be honest. We are not able to do. Socially. That's the truth. That's the reason you are sitting here and raising the question. I tell you, understand few important things. The world is totally spoiled. It is not going according to the rules or how it is supposed to be. It was wonderful once upon a time. In ancient time, things were going properly. Everything was well and great. And I tell you, 10,000 years ago, in Harappa Mohenjo-daro culture, some stone writings have been discovered. Read a beautiful book about that stone writings. It says, oh, nowadays the society is not as it should be. So much of war, there is no peace. Long times there was so much of peace. 10,000 years ago, then understand as only good prevailed. Truth. There was a time only truth prevailed. And every religion, Christianity, they say the God of Adam and Eve. Every religion has got the fantasy. The past was great. There was golden past. Always the idea of golden past. Again you say the past was great. And I tell you one thing, it is a wonderful way of accepting the reality. Otherwise, I can be sure the world was same as it is today. Whether it is 5,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago. Maybe one thing, there was no CNN channel that time. So the news did not reach you so quickly. That's all. The news did not reach you so quickly. That may be the only difference. But otherwise, I can be sure the good and the bad was equal. Good and the bad was equal. The same amount of wars were there. All the other things were there. You read the Puranas, the mythological stories of India, you see enough of things. Enough of dirty things. I think sometimes I find a little more. And if you see the Puranas or the Hindu scriptures, things much worse than modern day. Never think only present day is corrupted or violent. In the ancient days also, all these things were there. Only one thing was not there, CNN news or the internet. So the news did not reach you. But otherwise I can tell you, enough the good and bad was there. It always will exist. It will exist. And I tell you, enlightenment is only service. As of now, you are also the part of negative group. Naturally, we will be a negative group. As long as we are unenlightened, we will be the part of collective negative consciousness. So if you become overweight, that's the only thing that you are a lion. That's the only way to help yourself and the society. Otherwise, all revolutions, you see, all revolution again end up as one more tradition. In last 2000 years, 3000 wars have happened in the humanity. In 2000 years, 3000 wars. Human beings are doing wars, except fighting. Everybody claims he wants to do revolution. He wants to spread peace. You see, every country, their army is a defensive army. Then who is offending? Tell me. What to say? Games. The idea of peace is a pure game. Everybody wants to spread the peace according to them, not according to the other person. They want peace according to them. The other day I was in one interreligious gathering. One guy is preaching, let all of you convert to my religion so that we will not have fight. He wants peace the way in which he wanted, not the way in which. And there's a beautiful saying, the sword of Muhammad, it is written, peace alone should survive, something like that. He has written some statement about the peace on the sword. We all take sword to spread the peace. So no revolution is not going. So no revolution is going to help. Only individual evolution is going to help. So be very clear. Instead of working in the outer world, start working in the inner world. That will help you and society. I'll tell, you should. Social answer means.
Now, let's listen from the Supreme Pontiff of Hindus that Sri Kailas is all about peace-based powerfulness.
Space of Shanti. The space of Shanti is where Kailasa grows. Listen carefully. It is in the deep peace or peace-centered powerfulness is the ground, breeding ground for Paramashivatva to manifest. Please understand. Like how pure mirror reflects everything. Pure peace-based powerfulness reflects Paramashiva. Paramashiva manifests in peace-based powerfulness. Please understand. Neither violence nor powerlessness. Powerlessness is weakness. Peace-centered powerfulness. Powerfulness-centered peace. All starts with peace, completes with peace. Shanti mantra. Starts with Shanti mantra. Peace be fundamental requirement to manifest. That is why people who don't want us to manifest Paramashivatva or power peace understand, but so remember this very clearly. Peace, the core Anu Mahat structure. Understand? Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. The consciousness in you is atom inside the atom, Mahat, more than Mahat. That Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. With more and more peace-based powerfulness developing in you. Nothing can be compared to unclutching. Spend more and more time, energy in unclutching. It will never be wasted. Time spent on unclutching is the most productive time for you in your life, because unclutching complete, it makes memory, muscle memory, core structure, molecular structure, genetic structure, DNA structure, everything. All the 8 energy flow circuits, 7 energy flows, 1 the pure conscious explosion. So totally 8 energy flow circuits exist in you. All the 8 explodes when you unclutch. Understand?
Now, let's listen from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism that every prayer in Hinduism starts with the peace and ends with peace.
Every chanting, every prayer in Hinduism ends with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times. Means peace, peace, peace. Hinduism is the real religion. Loving peace, individual level. Hinduism lasts 56 nations, 200 states, 10 to planet Earth, human beings. Wherever Hinduism is practiced, kept, the ideal of global peace is kept alive. Just do this 110 religions. And how many people they converted in last 200 years? How many people they killed? You yourself will realize Hinduism is the most peace-loving and peace-living religion. Neither conversion terrorism. Neither conversion nor terrorism. Peace-living religion. I give you all my blessings. It is we Hindus need to keep the global peace as a living possibility Talking about global peace will not work. Working for peace only as a Hindu or practicing Hindu should work global peace. Global peace.
Now, let us see the Kailasa's mission. And Nithyananda order of monks, nuns, and Hindu diaspora are working for global peace and to give a super consciousness breakthrough to humanity. It is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's mission to revive a conscious world where the global issues at the climate, economic, social, health, and humanitarian levels cease to exist from their very root, turning the problems of poverty, hunger, violence, discrimination into powerful living through the experience of oneness. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been working from the very grassroots level to usher in an era of peace at all levels, individual, societal, national, and global. His deep insights into the workings of the human mind, body, emotions have enabled him to powerfully and directly address various social and emotional problems facing humanity today. Some of the ways the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism provides spiritual solutions to combat and other issues. Since the beginning of the global lockdown, the and activism, Kailasa has increased multifold to the Paramashivoham program, bringing super consciousness breakthrough and contributing almost 3 million minutes now. Paramashiva Sankalpa chanting, the sacred Sanskrit mantra chanting to heal 24/7 via Zoom sessions. Spiritual healing to one and all 24/7, helping humanity to cope up with insecurity, fear, disease by empowering individuals to heal themselves, learn to cope up with emotions like depression and tough situations in relation to solutions to worldly problems through power manifestation. Initiating thousands in providing healthy solutions like a technique to clear the stomach from the Ayurvedic solutions, which ultimately brings clarity out to the spiritual truth and give a conscious breakthrough. In the long run, establishing self-sufficiencies, continuing and intensifying the service of Annadan, free food in Nithyananda Annalayas around the world, including Tirunamalai and Los Angeles, paving way to the New World Order, starting the agriculture Adi Kailas and several other locations. Peacekeepers of Kailasa offering various life solutions from the teachings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hindu negativity simply through the presence of the avatar and his order of monks, offering Maheshwara Puja to the natural calamities hit victims. Bhava Samadhi Darshan to raise the individual consciousness breakthrough. Devi Parashakti Akashic reading, the cosmic revelations. Society was created with delusional ideas of too many human beings' blind spots and the decisions made from those blind spots. If the vision country or nation has blind spots when he develops a vision for it, the whole civilization suffers these blind spots forever. These pralaya, which is happening, is melting down everything which is delusion based. The world as we know it, to make 100% lifestyle change is something to be deeply dwelled upon. All problems need to be addressed with spiritual fatigue, collapsing, depression, destruction, and also give them super breakthrough and revive the enlightened civilization. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continuously gives spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions. Some of the spiritual solutions are unclutching, practicing completion, practicing oneness, practicing ajapa japa of Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, consciously building deep feeling connection, yoga, puja, vegetarian diet, and nirahara samyama. The people from 50 countries continue 13th May, and at any given point of time, there are 4 to 8 zones actively unclutched. Join this moment at http://Kailasa life solutions based on the ancient Hindu tradition, the meditation and yoga techniques from the scriptures, the cognitions are rooted in the highest truth, the lifestyle based on the living and radiating life, and powerful way of living and realizing ultimate potential provide the foundation for peace on planet Earth. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has launched the Minutes for Peace initiative, which is aimed in 2014, just after 2 years of launching the program. Participation in the meditation and completion techniques. In 1976, it was found that when 1% of the community practiced the meditation, the crime rate on an average. The current tally on it is where people have gathered in large numbers and participated in meditations and rituals. The total number comes out to be 409 billion minutes for peace so far. Through the Annalaya, under the Red Dome project, the de facto spiritual embassies in organic, sattvic, vegetarian meal so far. Giving free food to all is the economic policy deriving the reference from Vedas and Agamas. Recently, the humanitarian initiative launched by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the opening of Kailasa COVID care centers in India, where possible point of contact with the outer world. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has opened this service free to all people, regardless of in age, gender, caste, creed, ethnicity, color, or socio-economic status, food, shelter, internet, and all centers, cost and for an indefinite period of time. The outcome has been a splendid zero infection rate so far among the participants. The COVID-19 pandemic at a community level, along with guidelines and recommendations for governments, has been recognized and accepted by the United Nations as well. And now you can see some of the glimpses where the participants of the COVID care program offered by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism are enjoying healthy, blissful, spiritual lifestyle in multi-layered protection. They enjoy stress-free time following a spiritual morning routine, doing yoga, doing puja, temple seva, kara seva, and celebrating festivals. Join the Kailasa's COVID care protection centers and save your life. If you are in India, especially join these COVID care centers and protect your life.